Oh, hello guys.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if you mixed Mythbusters with The Walking Dead? We are Zombie Go Boom, filmmakers and zombie survival enthusiasts. Using our scientifically accurate zombie heads, we put retail weapons, homemade weapons, and everyday objects to the test in order to see what will save you during the zombie apocalypse. Survive, protect, and kick undead ass.
Hey, what's up, survivors? Welcome to another mind-blowing episode from Zombie Go Boom. I'm Chuck Murray.
I'm Charles Fultz.
And I'm Adam Celadin.
And Adam is a world champion knife thrower and tomahawk thrower, and he just won a bunch of awards at the last World Championship in Austin, Texas, so he's a badass, and we brought him over to throw some stuff, and we picked what we thought were the best Halloween weapons for throwing, and that's what we're gonna be testing out today. The first thing I have for you guys, a fan suggested that we use this thing. It's a 1095 high carbon steel old hickory giant butcher's knife.
So second thing what we have in my hands is pumpkin carving tool. They come in a set, but they are actually not meant for throwing. But we are going to try it anyway.
Next we have a throwing cleaver made by Craig Hanley.
That's right, so we're gonna have a lot of fun today. We specifically picked these weapons because they had the best chance at killing one of our Ivan heads when thrown. You guys ready to get started?
Hell yeah!
Yep.
All right, let's do this. All right, first we got the pumpkin carving tool. So Adam, what is your plan of attack?
So I want to try no spin from 2 meter distance, and I'm going to try hit the temple.
Yeah, and that'll make it so that it deflects less and it catches, and that gives us the best chance to have a kill, also because the temporal bone is the easiest part of the human skull to get through. Before we actually do the test though, I want to let you guys know that Adam is again a world champion knife thrower, and he has a channel where he does tutorials so you can be just like him, and then he also does a bunch of trick shots, just stuff that will blow your mind. Links in the description below. Are you ready for this?
Hell yeah!
Let's do it. All right, so first throw, it kind of punctured the skull a little bit. It went through the skin, through the flesh, and a little bit into the skull. Maybe not into the cranial cavity, but I think we can do it again. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's try it. All right, if you're a person, you are dead. But sadly, that is not a... Oh my god, that's disgusting. That is not a zombie kill, so we're gonna have to try again. Alright, so this one went behind the jaw, so it's not going through bone. Right now it's just going through flesh, and it seems like it got stopped by the jaw on the other side. Not a kill, and it's not stuck that bad. So, let's do it again.
It bleeds!
Okay, so we got some serious hemorrhaging right now. As you can see, it's bruised all the way over here, and the hemorrhaging is getting worse and worse. We definitely punctured the cranial cavity. The more hemorrhaging, the more brain damage. So this is probably a kill. This is like a confirmed kill, but maybe it's not the best weapon to use. But just the fact that we were able to get a pumpkin kit that was like $5, and one of the items can score a potential kill by throwing it at the zombie is freaking ridiculous. So definitely a decent weapon at the very least, and against a person it's actually just as good as any throwing spike. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Even this tool is not meant for throwing. You can see the damage, and it did, you know. So
yeah, and what Adam was saying was cool, that you know, you have a heavy handle, you know, and you have a good spike. That's exactly what you want, so it can slide in and go straight through the target. We were actually throwing this along with other knives, and in many cases we were more accurate with this than with the actual throwing knives and throwing spikes. So that's pretty awesome, right?
yeah, definitely.
Right. So if you want to even just learn how to throw knives, throw spikes, here's a very small investment instead of having to pay like $40-50 for a legitimate throwing knife, and you can start practicing. Oh, there you go.
All right, up next, Adam's gonna throw the giant butcher knife. Adam, what's your plan of attack?
So with this giant butcher knife, I'm going to try full spin rotation from 3 meters distance, and it's gonna be much more power behind it because the knife will do the 360 rotation, and it will be much better stick. But we'll see how it's gonna work. Let's do it. So with the first hit, we was managed to do really deep cut and also little tiny crack in the skull. But I want to try several more throws.
Boom. Well, Adam definitely tore Ivan a new a-hole, if you know what I'm saying. Look at that. Maybe a concussion, maybe some brain damage, a little bleeding on the inside, but it did not go into the cranial cavity, so we can't confirm that that's a kill, even though it's a very severe injury. So definitely quite a bit of damage, but it might not be the best throwing weapon in the world. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna test it in a way that it's supposed to be tested, which is melee striking after we do the flying cleaver, and we're gonna let Adam do whatever he can do with this particular weapon. Decapitations, all sorts of stuff. It's gonna be a lot of fun, so stick around till the end of the episode because we're not even close to being done.
All right, up next, we've got the throwing cleaver. Adam, what's your plan of attack for this one?
So like before with the giant butcher knife, I'm going to try one spin rotation because like you saw before, it did a lot of damage. But this is what meant for especially for throwing, so I think it's gonna be much more better. Let's do it.
Okay, so it went a little low, but we just wanted to show you the amount of damage that that kind of a throw can do. You got the jaw here, and it is literally in pieces. Pieces. So even though it's not a zombie kill, you've totally disabled it. This zombie, just forget about him. Move on to other ones. Once you finish them off, just double tap this bitch and you're done. All the flesh, all the skin is just ripped off, just cut out. Some of the skull was just kind of swiped over, but the problem with a spherical target is that if you hit it a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left, it's gonna deflect. And that's what you can see in the skull right here. It hit the skull, it began to cut the skull, but then it deflected to the zombie's left. And even though we did get some bone out of it, it's definitely not a kill. Severe injury, like always, not a zombie kill. So in order to get a zombie kill and make sure that the weapon gets a good shot at it, we're gonna have to get a shot right at the frontal bone. Let's do it again. Alright, so this one was a little bit to the zombie's right, and we got the same kind of stuff as before. Circular target, weapon moves, slides, deflects, and then we cut all of the skin, all of the flesh, and quite a bit of the bone, as you can see right there, but not enough to penetrate inside of the cranial cavity, so not a kill. I am confident though that if we hit it right in the middle, that we'll get enough penetration to see some blood. If we can't do that, we're gonna turn it and try to hit the temporal bone. But I'm confident you can get this, right?
Yeah.
It just takes time, man. A lot of those knife throwing videos where you see like people doing badass tricks and stuff, you have to remember that even those take a while to get, because every single throw is a little bit different. You got to make adjustments and everything. And even a world champion like Adam has to make adjustments because every throw is completely different. Alright, so this weapon's pretty cool, but a little bit of deflection and you're basically just shaving pieces off. As you can see, we got that got shaved off, that got shaved off, that got shaved off, that got shaved off. The cheekbone's totally gone here. Actually, look at that. It broke off. Like, it's doing a hell of a lot of damage, but being able, especially from that distance, to get a perfect shot to the forehead might be just too difficult. So the two things we can do is try a different style and bring Adam a little closer, or try the temple because it's flatter, it has less of a tendency to deflect, and the temporal bone is a little thinner than the frontal bone. So what we're gonna do first up, we might try something else, but we're gonna do this. This temple is totally fine, even though, you know, there is some ripping and stuff from the other test, but the bone is still totally intact and the flesh is intact here too. So this is the best chance this weapon has at a throwing kill. Damn, that was perfect. Alright, first try on the side of the head, a little to the left, so we took a big chunk of skull off. You can see the white right there, the super white, that's the cranial cavity. So we were like this close to getting into the cranial cavity, and that's considering the amount of deflection that this had. So I'm super confident that if we get it even just an inch to the right, we'll be piercing that cranial cavity and having a confirmed kill for this flying cleaver. Do you want to try it again?
I'm ready.
All right.
Yep.
Alright, so first piece of evidence is quite a bit of blood on that spike portion right there. And now we see that we hit it even more to the left but down, which allowed the implement, especially since we hit it with the spike, to not deflect as much as the past strikes. And we got some blood. So Even though the strike was still a little bit off, it did. Oh my God, look at that. It took apart that occipital bone and knocked a hole clean into the cranial cavity. You see that hole right there? Now it's starting to bleed. Look at that. That is probably a kill.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it hit the jaw.
But that was a
But it destroyed the whole jaw. It moved the whole thing. Look at that. It's
Oh my God.
wow.
Okay, well, again, not where we wanted it, but this jaw, it didn't just cut the jaw, it broke the jaw and it moved it.
Can we turn this?
I mean, this is, I've never seen this before. In the 5 years that we've done Zombie Go Boom, we've never seen a weapon just restructure the face of one of our Ivan heads. Look at this. The jaw is actually completely separated. Here it is, you know, like Charles was doing last time, but it just moved I mean, oh my God. This zombie can't bite you, all right? So that's good. That's a good thing. Let's try it again.
Oh yes, got it. To the temple, right to the temple.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect shot.
Perfect shot. Took a little bit, but it's totally worth it. It's a ton of hemorrhaging coming out of the temple. That weapon went deep, deep, deep into the skull, through the cranial cavity. We have another confirmed kill, and this one is exactly the way that you want it. So now, there's only one thing left to do, and that is to go crazy and destroy this head. So I'm gonna let Adam pick whatever weapon out of the weapons that we threw to use in order to melee destroy this bad boy right here. What do you want to do, Adam?
So I think I will try with the big butcher knife.
All right, so you're just gonna hit it a few times?
Oh yeah, and maybe
then-
try to decapitate.
All right, that'll be good. All right, let's do it.
All right, up next, Adam's gonna go crazy. So what's your plan of attack?
So with this giant butcher knife, I'm going to try 2 chops, and then we can try decapitation.
That's a kill through the frontal bone, which is really difficult to do. And by the way, that weapon, even though it's 1095 high carbon steel, is like 15 bucks. So that's a steal, all right? So, kill, and then here, we cut deep, deep into the bone, as you can see right there. Super smooth cut, but it did not get into the cranial cavity, so that's not a confirmed kill, even though that's a ridiculous freaking injury.
So finally now, it's time for decapitation.
There it is. So there you have it, the 3 best Halloween throwing weapons the world has to offer. Special thanks to Craig Hanley for sending this flying meat cleaver. It's badass. And please subscribe to Adam Celadin, link in the description below, if you want to learn how to be a badass at throwing anything, and you want to also see some amazing trick shot stuff that will blow your mind. His channel is badass. And with another mind-blowing episode from Zombie Go Boom, I'm Chuck Murray.
Charles Foltz.
I'm Adam Celadin.
This bone is ridiculously thick and hard.
That's what she said.
Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Subscribe?
Skypes. Great take, guys.